Hey, and we are the Coalition, loud and proud, civilly disobedient media. Rhode Island State Representative, State House Speaker Joseph Shekarchi has granted us a few minutes of time, and I mean that in the best possible way. If you know the rhythm of this building, this is possibly one of the craziest weeks of the year as we, this tidal wave of legislation floods through committee, ample opportunities for hearings. So let's get right to the point for once. Last night, in a stunning announcement by many, less surprised by some, the city of Pawtucket announced it, and a lot of us are having a difficult time getting around the language. Let's just say that for the time being, they appear to have placed some type of freeze on the bonding, the funding of the bonding necessary in order to move forward with Tidewater Stadium, the Tidewater Landing project. Do you think that's a fair assessment of where they're going?
I think that's a fair assessment. I would say they put a pause on issuing the bonds.
Right.
That's my understanding.
Right. First off, there's a lot of moving parts to this. A number of folks, including this publication, are pointing out the issues with bonding education projects simultaneously. But we ask you, because you've been very clear on this all along, what process needs to take place for the state of Rhode Island to even consider investing additional capital into this project?
Well, if there's any request for appropriation for money, it will be a very public, open vetting process. It would go to the House Finance Committee and be fully vetted, and it would give the public ample opportunity to be heard on that request. To date, I do not have that request.
So at this point in time, we're still at the state, and you've been very steadfast about this, very forward-facing. The state has made its commitment through the Commerce Corporation. That's where we stand now. No additional request for money. At this point, no additional consideration of money unless there's a thorough vetting process.
Absolutely, but we can point out one thing for your listeners and for your viewers, that request can come at any time. Just because it wasn't in the governor's original budget, or just because it hasn't been entered now, doesn't mean it can't be entered in tomorrow, or the next day, or next week, or next month.
Right. Any thoughts? Now I'm asking you to step back for a second, as someone who not only is a speaker, but actively represents one of the more sophisticated, if you will, wards, districts here in the state of Rhode Island. As someone who represents the city of Warwick, do you see value in these sort of silver bullet, big stadium, big solution approaches?
I don't like to talk in generalities or purity tests. I like to look at each individual project and study the benefits, and I would look at any request openly. I keep an open mind on every issue. I listen to the pros and cons, and I listen to the benefits it may or may not bring, and then we make a decision on that. So I don't like to give a blanket statement. I'm for all of them. I'm against all of them. I judge each and every one of them on the merits.
And last question, any thoughts on stadiums or this particular stadium project, generally speaking?
I like the Bull Sox, and I wish they were still here, but that's the moot point. So we'll just take it one step at a time. I mean, my understanding was that it was very limited in terms of soccer stadiums. It was going to be more of an event venue, and they were planning on other things as well, community events, concerts, etc. So that's my understanding of what the project was.
Do you feel, though, at a certain point we have enough event venues in this state? We've got some fabulous ones. We're just less than a mile from the Dunk. We've got a relatively new facility at URI. We've got the convention center.
All of those, look, like I said, I'll judge each and every one of them individually, but all of those you mentioned were all indoor venues, and this was an outdoor venue.
Okay. Well, thank you very much again for your opportunity.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Pat.
All right.